Before we get started, I want to make sure I say that this video is brought to you by BetUS. Now let's get to it.
I think people will love it too, honestly. The first couple picks, I think people are going to be a little shocked and like, whoa. But
let's get to it, Boone.
Listen, Klotzy,
Boone,
can you throw it up? There's only one thing I care about. There's only one. Listen, and I hope the people respect me for this, because there's only one thing that people know how much I hate Ohio State. As a Michigan man, I never thought I would do this. 3 months ago, Klotzy, when Michigan beat Ohio State, I thought I would never want Jack Sawyer in the Honolulu Blue. I want the Detroit Lions to win a Super Bowl. That's all that matters at the end of the day. And that's why at 28 overall, give me Jack Sawyer out of Ohio State. Listen, Klotzy, I just want someone who's going to go out there and compete. If you have Aiden Hutchinson on one side and a Jack Sawyer on the other side, this kid, I'm telling you guys, this kid is an absolute dog. Like, offensive lineman tackles are going to not be like, I don't want to play against this guy. Just like they think with Hutch or they think with the Myles Garrett. Like, I'm not saying he's going to be at that level, but it's just like mentally, Jack Sawyer, he got in my head, even though we beat him. He ran out there and took the flag off the field and ran. I love that at the end of the day. As much as I hated it versus Michigan, I love the fact that Jack Sawyer's out there and he has that kind of dog and that Dan Campbell mentality, that gritty mentality that he wants to go out there and all he cares about is winning football. That's it. He doesn't care about anything else. So I love it. And at the end of the day, Klotzy, I'll give him a lot of credit too. Like, he knows, like, dude, his IQ, his power, everything he does is at the highest level. Everything. Like, in the biggest moments, he had the biggest plays of the season. Like versus Michigan, he had the interception in the end zone that should have won them the game. Versus Texas, he had the what was that? I think it was a fumble that he picked up and ran it back for a touchdown. This guy makes plays in the biggest games, biggest moments. And you can have the conversations like early in his career wasn't great, but coming out this year, making the plays in winning football that he did, and with 9 sacks on the year and touchdowns, like, you want him on your team. I don't know. I text Jeff this too. I don't know how Jack Sawyer fell to 28, because every single mock draft I've done this morning before I did my legit one, he was going at like 25, 26, 27, like right before I was going. And then I went in at like 12 o'clock, did mine, and it was like he just was there. And I was like, have to take him. 60 though, Jared Ivey, boys. Klotzy, you did a breakdown on him last week. He was available at 60 somehow. I don't know how. It probably goes earlier. But if he's there, whether you already took Jack Sawyer and another edge or not, boys, what did Dan Campbell do last year? Back-to-back corners.
I interrupted the video to tell you about the sponsor of the video, and that is BetUS, and specifically BetUS Casino. Listen, I'm a big casino guy, especially if you get to do it from home. Take advantage of BetUS and their casino, especially for all the followers out there who love slots, love live casino dealers. Head over to BetUS and get an amazing sign-up bonus, 200% sign-up bonus up to $5,000, or a 250% sign-up bonus for crypto up to $5,000. Head over to BetUS and check it out. Now, remember, gamble responsibly. Never gamble anything you aren't already willing to lose. Now, let's get back to the video. Yep.
Yeah. Back-to-back corners. He just said, hey, we have a position of need. We're going best player available, and we're going to take that best player or the position of need as well. That's what I think this year in the draft at 28, at 60. I think there's a chance you see back-to-back edges off the board for the Detroit Lions, just because they're like, hey, defensive line, you saw what the Eagles did, and what the Eagles did, you want to say, hey, we need to copy that. It's a copycat league. You want to go get yourself some edge rushers and someone to get to the quarterback. So Jared Ivey at 60. Jeff, Pat Bryant at 132. I was in between a few different guys, and I couldn't decide. This is where I'm at with the wide receiver thing. People keep putting in the chat, you're going to get a comp pick at like 100 in the 3rd round. It's going to be before 132, most likely. I think that's where you go wide receiver. Whatever that comp pick is, you go wide receiver, because at 132, like, I like Pat Bryant. He is unbelievable. He catches everything, Jeff. Like, everything that's thrown at him, catches it. Yep. It's impossible to tackle him. Like, he is like your ideal like replacement for Tim Patrick. But I do think there are guys like Jaden Higgins from Iowa State, like, that are just at a different level than Pat Bryant. And if you can somehow trade up in the 3rd, and like a Jaden Higgins falls out of the 2nd, and you get him, I would rather take that all day over Pat Bryant. But that was the kind of best wide receiver available. 194. Klotzy, text you about him.
Yeah,
Out of the
Boone.
bat,
Hey, this is we do my now. Here's the guy. Boone, go
this
ahead
is
and do
my
now.
guy.
Here's the guy on Ty Robinson.
Ty Robinson. I got some
stamped
notes
it.
on him too. I wrote some notes. This guy, Jeff, 6'6", 310. If you watch his film, this man he looks like the Incredible Hulk. He is huge, massive, straight muscle. You know how you said Giovanni Manu is just what do you call him? What do you say about him?
He's 6'8", 350, no gut.
No gut on Ty Robinson. 6'6", 310, defensive lineman. I think he's played like every position on the defensive line, every technique. I think he's flexible. He moves around. This man is just a bully. When you talk about like, hey, Dan Campbell just loves dudes that just get in there. Hey, we want to play bully. This is Ty Robinson. If you haven't watched this film, go watch it. This year, 12 tackles for a loss and 7 sacks as a interior guy. This is the guy. If you want to find a guy, and when I did it went 194. They said it was a bad pick because he's going to go in the 200s. Not a bad pick. Once you start watching his film, everything's going to turn. You're going to be like, hey, we need this guy in here. Replace replace Josh Pascal. Replace Broderick Martin. Give me Ty Robinson in that spot.
Boone, you know who we can replace immediately? And
Levi.
it might hurt your heart, but I think you'll be happy about it. This is your commish replacement.
Hey, which is fine. Listen, if you can find someone better, this guy has a motor. And that's what I want, a guy that just has a motor and he's smart. Like his IQ's high. He's flex. He can play any position.
Sneaky fast, some would say.
Yes, I think literally one of the things that I saw when I was doing research on him, and every single bullet point that I saw on every single website and everything I was looking at with this guy, everyone just says this guy is quick for his size. 6'6", 310. Quick, Jeff.
Lunch pail kind of guy.
Yes. He's going to come to work every day. All right. My second, I guess, yeah, he has to come to work every day. So he's going to come to work.
You know what I just saw about Ty Robinson? I just did a quick. He had offers to he had an offer to Alabama.
That's where
Nebraska.
Yep. He wants a dog mentality.
Yeah.
I want to be an underdog. I want to find a way out of
He wants to win with the Huskers and Matt Rule.
I respect that too. I love that. My 7th round picks though, these ones guys, like again, the 7th round picks, I think this is going to be interesting all off season, seeing like who we kind of go with that just based off it's tough to find guys. At 226 though, I think this is kind of a sneaky like a solid steal here. Malachi Moore, he was a 5th-year guy at Bama. He played all 5 seasons at Bama, boys. And if you guys know anything about Brad Holmes, he loves his Alabama guys. And then if you want to say, well, it's Kellen DeBoer there now, it's not Nick Saban. No, he was there for 4 years and started for 4 years under Nick Saban. I don't know if he started his first year, but I think after his second, third, fourth, he was out there playing with guys like Brian Branch, Terrion Arnold, and he played under Nick Saban. In 2023, I think Nick Saban's last year, he was the captain of that. He was one of the captains on that defense. So like Malachi Moore is an absolute dog. His IQ's up there. I know this year, and I forgot all about it because I remember I watched the game, but he did have some issues where he kind of freaked out, had a couple tough penalties, like unsportsmanlike conducts. But I think that's like, hey, push that to the side. This guy can just play. He's an absolute dog. What did I write down for my notes for him? Hold on, let me see. What did I have? Swiss Army knife too. I put this down. Swiss Army knife. You know one thing that the Lions need in the secondary? Versatility. The man, he played free safety. He's played strong safety and nickel all at Bama. Everywhere. Who does that remind you of, boys?
Little Brian Branch-esque, huh?
Brian Branch. He doesn't have the same size and all of that, but he's able to move around. Football IQ. He's a Bama guy. We know how the Bama guys are and how Brad loves his Bama guys, especially under Saban. There's not going to be much guys left that are coming from under Saban over the next few years. Malachi Moore is one of them. 229, boys, if I'm just going to be honest.
Break it down.
Dylan Fairchild. Yeah, honestly, I just wanted to get a guard. He was one of the best left available. So I said, give me Dylan Fairchild from Georgia. Hey, if you're playing in the SEC as a guard, I respect you. One thing I saw about him, though, he only has 10 starts at left guard. So he doesn't have a ton of experience. But the guys, I went and watched like about 5 minutes of his film. Probably just as solid as you can get. And I know it's like highlights, but this guy just like no one's getting around him. He just plants and just like his pass rush or his pass pro, unbelievable. This guy is unbelievable. And I don't know why he would be at 229. I feel like he should be like in the 100s. If you get him in the 7th round, that's a steal just to back up Christian Mahogany, learn a little bit. You're not expected to start. Learn a little bit. And then my last guy, Klotz, I feel like you would love this guy too, Tommy Hill. Tommy Hill. Have you heard of him?
Tommy Hill.
Are you familiar? Is Klotz frozen right now?
No.
Okay,
I'm not familiar with this.
He's not familiar. You got to tell him.
Hey, what? This is going to be an end of draft.
I was waiting for you to inform me.
Hey, he transferred into Nebraska. When he got to Nebraska, he was a DB. They've switched him to wide receiver. The man, hey, he catches he's a dog. You know, he's one of those high IQ guys, versatile, he just knows the game of football. Went from wide receiver, and then this last year moved back to corner, and he was a dog. I think he had like 13 pass deflections, which was the most in the Big Ten. He had 4 interceptions. Hey, Klotz, the one thing about him, he's 6 foot. His wingspan is like 6'3" or 7. It's like 79 inches, but I think I'm like 6'3" when I looked it up. So he has that. I say one thing about corners, learned it from my guy, John Gruden. If you have a longer wingspan than you do your height, you're going to be a good corner. He's not a guy that's going to start, but when we talk about, hey, replacing guys like Kendall Vildor, Tommy Hill, hey, step right in. Get ready to play football.
Wow. Tommy Hill.
Hey, go watch some Tommy Hill. Go watch some Tommy Hill film. He's a dog. He flies around.
Yeah, the thing I think I noticed too with DBs, especially DBs that transition or vice versa, like Kirby was a wide receiver, they just got hands, just hands.
Yeah, that was what I thought of right away was the Kirby thing. And then I was like, when I watched some of his stuff, he's like a ball hawk. And he probably could have had more interceptions, but he's just really like a ball hawk. Like he knows what the quarterback's doing because he's played on offense for a couple years. But yeah, that's my mock draft point 1.0.
I love it, Boone. I love it. You put me on to Ty Robinson. Thank you for that. Shout out Boone knower right there. That's what
maybe 79 inches isn't 6'3" Derek Lash. I looked up on Google. I did say, can you please give me a translation or whatever? It said 6'3", I think. I could have been way off, to be honest, on my research.
I'd give this draft an A, Boone. The only thing that keeps me from giving it an A+, again, this draft is an A. So this would be like, this is like nitpicking here. Jack Sawyer and Jared Ivey, very similar players, both kind of power rush. Boone, I'm just letting you, I think an A+ would have been if you can get a speed rush guy somewhere there. Somebody that brings a different little look. That's the only thing. But otherwise, but I love both those players. Bring them both home.
I think my mindset was more so whether they're the same player or not. One of them has to hit, right?
Yeah,
like one of those guys.
No, Boone, you just want power. I mean, you got power guys. I'm
tired of the pocket not collapsing versus great quarterbacks. I want to collapse that pocket. Put Jack Sawyer, Jared Ivey, Ty Robinson in there.
Yeah, Ty Robinson's he's a massive dude. There's no denying that. Jack Sawyer's a excellent pick. He was picked before I could take him, but he's a great. I would be all comfortable with this outcome.
Yeah, I would love to. If this happened, I would be pumped up, Jeff.
Yeah, I mean, as people should be. Jack Sawyer in a Lions uniform would be awesome. That would be awesome. And if you don't get Myles Garrett, of course, this is all, of course, if you don't get Myles Garrett, because if you do, you won't have a first round pick.
I would much rather have Myles Garrett highlights rolling for the first 2 rounds.
Yeah,
I don't care if it's the first 2, that's fine. If it's just the first, great. But Myles Garrett is better than, I'm sorry, Jared Ivey and Jack Sawyer put together in one season. Yeah,
we should have just. I should have showed up today, and every pick was an edge. I should have just said
Myles Garrett.
That would have been funny.
Thank you all for watching. This video is presented to you by BetUS. Hey, what's going on there? It's Jeff Iafrate. Appreciate you for finishing the video. You can check out one of the videos here suggested, or show support by commenting, liking, and subscribing. And buy your merchandise, officialctsports.com.